Watch out for cactus.
So, Hunter,
What?
tell me about what you love about living over here.
I mean, like, there's a bunch of water.
There's a bunch of water.
And a lot of room to play.
So right now I'm in Utah, driving to Colorado, and I'm going to visit Melissa, who has this land, 45 acres, with a lot of spring water on it, that we're gonna be developing into what we're calling festival. Those that have been to a festival have often asked themselves, why can't we live like that all the time? And deep inside of us, we all know that we could live like that all the time. But we're so stuck in these patterns and this way of being and fighting for survival. We live a life where most of our time is spent on survival. We don't do things that matter to us. And as a result, we become bitter and resentful and angry and unhappy. We can't live a life where we're connected, joyful, live a life of contribution and giving back to the earth, giving back to each other, giving back to all life on this planet. It is very much possible for us to create a life like that. And that's what we're doing. Okay, Melissa, tell us where we're at here.
We are at what is usually a very full pond. It's a little low right now, but this is where we swim and paddleboard, and we're gonna put a dock out there to jump off of. It's a really great spot. It's so mellow and calm down here.
Yeah. Well, where we're at geographically, where we're at in the world.
In the world.
Yeah.
We are in Crawford country. That's what they call it. We are in western Colorado on the western slope of the Rockies, and we are in a little area called Crawford, and it's right down the road from Paonia, which is a super sweet community that's filled with artists and farmers and musicians and regenerative people of all shapes and sizes. This is 44 acres of an incredible oasis. It's surrounded by a lot of traditional farmland, but this land was set up for regenerative agriculture in a really unique way. So it has 4 ponds and daylight irrigation systems that go through it, and over 120 springs that we can utilize for water taps or for irrigation or any other purpose that we want, including building a hot spring here. So we're intending to build a community and have that be surrounded by nature and have the arts be a really big part of that, and utilize some event production and education to help fund it all.
What if we can live like that all the time? Right now we've gathered ourselves in these big cities and we have bigger tribe than ever before. If you think about it, you have 1 million people living in one place, but we're more isolated, more alone than ever before. So there's this, we've kind of lost our ways a little bit. But how can we come together in communion with each other in a community, and also come together and to commune with the land and listen to the land and relate to the land and create kind of not only what we want but also what the land wants. The vision with this is that it's almost like the pilot. We want to create this for the future. We want to create a tempo to a recording from the very beginning. We want to document the whole process. We want to share with the world. We want to inspire other people to do the same. We also want to bring other people that have land and visions and that want to be part of this vision, and we want to come together and create these communities throughout the world that they commune and connect with each other. So it's like a interweb of people that are more interested in living off the land, with the land, in community, in sustainable, regenerative ways, in a way that's giving back to the Mother Earth and not just taking. We have also another piece that we're really stuck in this idea of owning a piece of land, right? Like everyone wants to own their piece of land. And just the idea of owning land is just such a weird concept, such a weird idea, because how do you own Mother Nature, right? Like in a sense, the Great Mother owns you. You come from her, you go back to her. We want to use the tools put all this land, and if you have land, you could put it into this entity, which is a land trust or earth trust, where we make the land the primary beneficiary. So the land is benefiting from us being there, and we're passing it down to other generation, where we don't own the land, but we steward the land. And if we come together and we can grow a large community of people around the world, we can put our land into this land trust, so it's protected and it's a sovereign land with sovereign beings, living in community, living in communion with each other and the earth. That's the future that we're envisioning, that we're inspired by, and we're starting with this piece of beautiful little land.
So I've done events for over 20 years, and some of the stuff that really bothered me in the event production world is the lack of sustainability. And so a big part of what we want to do here is template how to be more regenerative in our development of events. We also want to offer educational events and retreats and the occasional festival. And so we are working on something called Leave a Positive Trace Productions. So the idea of building things that stay. So the event builds place, and then it builds on itself each year. A large part of the plan that we've been working on is how to have a community that works together and plays together and doesn't just live near each other. Want to develop a tiny house village that is next to a maker's lab. So we have a maker space for artists and craftspeople, musicians, and then we can mentor the community through that space and create everything we need for our events in that building. That'll be a very fancy glamping unit at some point, but that's my house for now.
Okay, here you have a little fancy chicken coop.
Yeah, we have a chicken mansion. So all of these irrigation lines that come through here, we can plant along, and that's the idea of food forestry, where you're moving water through the land and planting perennial crops along the water. So this is where we're thinking of putting the stage across here and having rock come across that mimics these rocks and builds a stage out of it. And that way you have that gorgeous view in the background, and then we're standing right now on the dancing field, the frolicking meadow, where you'll also have chairs set up for a wedding. Yeah, the land looks so different in the different seasons. Like, it's been a year since I found it, and it looked about like this. We got a lot more snow probably 2 weeks from now last year, and I came here and it was just crystal, everything was sparkly, and there were these little bitty bluebirds that were flying around. And then spring, like when spring came, everything was just gushing with water. There was water pouring out of all these different spots, and it turned bright green. And then tons of different flowers came, and then the summer everything grew super, super tall.
The land getting to know you.
Yep.
Building that relationship.
Yeah, that's a big process, big step, instead of just coming in and putting our vision in place. The idea of being here and just letting the land talk to us and tell us what it wants is so important. That's Grand Mesa out there. It's the longest continuous mesa. This one right here. It's big. So that's the longest continuous mesa in the, I think, in the Americas.
For the tiny house village, how many houses or how many families you envision?
It's about 10 acres of land that we can work with over there. And so it could be anywhere between 20 and 40 probably, depending on the size of dwellings and how much space we put around them. But we don't want to do the traditional row.
Yeah,
It's just not, it doesn't function with nature.
he wants to be more organic.
We
with
want it to feel more organic, and because that area is set up so well for food forestry, having creeks and swales and food growing with paths in between the different units versus a street and sidewalks and then fences.
Creativity is such an interesting conversation. A lot of people don't see themselves as creative, so just even the word creativity brings up a lot of stuff for a lot of people. But I really like that word because, in a sense, I think we create our lives. Like it's a very empowered life if you take the idea that you create your own life. So starting with the fact that you create your life, you wake up in the morning and how's this day gonna be? You wake up this in the morning and like, okay, well, what am I gonna do with this day? You have this day given to you. What are you gonna create with it? And also, there's a more conventional idea of creating something with your hands. I think what creating some typically, because you can create stuff on a computer too. But there's these bodies where they're designed to move. It's fascinating. This human machine, this body. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And I could tell you, as a builder and as a coach, it's very interesting because when I've worked with people and I have someone tell me, "Oh, you changed my life," it's been very satisfying. But it's more satisfying for my ego. But when I built something with my hands, like I slept so good that night. I was like, okay, there's nothing here, now there's something here, and I use these two hands to make that happen. It's like one of the most satisfying feelings. And also creating events, that too is also bringing people together, using your body with, to create, using your body as an art piece, like acting or dancing or all those things. So I think that has to be an essential part of any thriving community where we co-create together, either with our hands or with our body, with our hands, bodies, mind. Larger vision about this is that we want to create create many locations around the world where people are living in accordance with the principles of nature, and they're thriving and they're regenerating and creating more biodiversity, and we're restoring the soil. Humans are happier, we're growing not only healthier and more fruitful crops and vegetables and everything, but also more we're raising humans that are more conscious, more aware, more loving, more caring, and everything is done with grace and beauty and magic. So then when we can connect with the land in a way that, like, oh, you are a character in this relationship, we're relating to you, and only your character, you're the main character, we all depend on you. So we need to start developing rightful relationship with the land. And when we start to create rightful relationship with the land, then the land has the rights, and we listen to the rights of the land. We commune with the land, we listen to the land entity. It's more alive than anything else. But everything in the universe is a vibration. So each land has a vibration. You just gotta tune in and listen to that vibration. And sometimes it might take a while. But it speaks. It speaks in those vibrations. And what does it need? And how do you engage with it? And how do you listen to it? And how do you steward it? And how do you relate with it? How do you be in a rightful relationship with it? In an honoring relationship with it? Because your life depends on it. And if you take care of the Great Mother, she will take care of you bountiful. Again, look what the Great Mother has done with one single organism to where we're at today. How can the Creator from one single organism to all this magic and beauty that surrounds us? And if you tune into that frequency and listen to the Creator, listen to the Great Mother, listen to that land, and you honor it, and you cherish it, and you have a rightful relationship with it, it will reward you in the same way. From a single cell organism, it would create bounty you never even dreamed of possible. You as the individual are a key piece of that. We cannot do that without you. We need you. Your contribution is essential. You are essential. You're an essential part of this. And we cannot do this without you. And we need you. You can contribute with your love, with your intention, with a dollar bill, with your time, with your energy, with involving yourself. If you have land, maybe you want to put your land under the land trust and be protected for you and for generations after you. And we can come together, we can create a world that our hearts know it's possible. Our minds know it's possible. So let's make it happen. Let's come together and make this happen. It's up to us. So much love. Thank you. If you've listened this far, super grateful. And I really appreciate you. And thank you so much. I'll keep posting updates from this journey. Stay tuned to hear and learn more about it. Thank you.